Speak for yourself. Ben Roethlisberger and Lamar Jackson, they will meet for the first time on Sunday when the Steelers travel to Baltimore. The Ravens have only lost one game this year, but Lamar's passing numbers haven't been as high as last year's MVP season. On the other side, the Steelers are the only undefeated team left in the league. So, Marcellus, which quarterback has more to lose on Sunday? Is it Big Ben Roethlisberger or Lamar Jackson?
I'm going to say Big Ben. In this situation, you got to remember what this team was last year and what they are expecting to be with Big Ben. Big Ben's been balling this year. Let's be real about that. And he's the cherry on top to an 8-8 team that last year overachieved and now feel like with Big Ben, we shouldn't even have to overachieve. We should achieve a lot. And Big Ben has to prove that this team belongs with the champions from that division last year, a 14-2 team last year in the regular season. So I think this is about really appeasing the teammates. Like, with me as your leader, we're going to now get over that hump. Right now, they're in first place in that division. And you can't take really any shots at Big Ben and individual performers, but you can't take shots at the record per se. Before that Cleveland Browns game, we were looking at a team that beat the Giants, Broncos, Texans, and Eagles. And then we saw convincing wins against Cleveland Browns and a convincing lead that almost was evaporated against the Titans. My point is, if you have Big Ben, not only do we need to get over that hump, stay over that hump, but now go out there and start to attain a lot more. That's what this team is looking for its leader in Big Ben.
Man, I got to say Lamar Jackson, but I say Lamar Jackson because, again, let's talk about that pressure. It's a result of expectations. Lamar Jackson, he was the MVP winner last year. He came into this season with more expectations probably than any player besides Russell Wilson, I would argue. Lamar Jackson came into the season with everybody holding their breath wondering, can he do it again? Thus far, he's been good. But you see how critical we've been of him, not because he ain't been good, but because he hasn't been as good as he was last year. You go into this game against the Steelers team that is already undefeated. You have one blemish on your radar, one blemish on your record. You can't afford to drop another one, particularly in a year where there aren't two first-round buys.
Okay.
Because now if you lose this one, at best, you're more than likely going to end up as, what, the 5th seed? You might have to go on the road 3 times in the playoffs just to get to the Super Bowl. I think there's legitimately more that Lamar Jackson can lose, and just figuratively, as far as perception, Lamar Jackson has more to lose if he doesn't win this game.
First, I'm going to push back on that whole Lamar is looking good, but not the same. That unanimous MVP pace, he has one more win than that pace of last year, one fewer touchdown than that pace of last year, and 3 fewer picks, which is actually a positive from that same pace. He's right there at the same time. We already talked about that. Your eyes have adjusted to that bright light, which is Lamar Jackson. It happens. But Big Ben in this situation, last year they didn't do anything without him. 8-8, overachieved. You know, you get the moral victory of it all, but they didn't achieve to the Pittsburgh Steelers brand that level. Now they got Big Ben with that defense and all these young receivers that are showing up with James Conner. They're like, we are a ready, loaded team with an unblemished record. Steelers win, they're 7-0 with a 2-game lead. They don't, all of a sudden you're 6-1, and you're looking at the Ravens like, hey, in that tiebreaker, the Ravens could win that situation. You and I just figured out one of our differences. You continue to tell me that pressure is based on expectations. I don't believe that. For me, pressure is based on consequences. Like, I only feel it when it's like, yo, something's going to happen if I don't do it. Then the pressure mounts up. Like in a Super Bowl game or even a playoff game because it's do or die. I don't care if you think we're going to win or not. I care if we don't win, something's going to happen to us. In this situation, if you're Big Ben, and you go out there and lose to a team that most are saying is not the same as last year, despite them having the best NFL point differential Baltimore Ravens are. But if Big Ben doesn't win this game, there's going to be some guys in that locker room looking around like, are we going to get over this hump? Because we didn't now, and we were unblemished before this moment.
But let's talk about the individual, because I feel you're on the team. But as an individual, if Lamar Jackson and his Ravens lose, that's a real story. Like, Lamar Jackson, is he done? Is Lamar Jackson going to be the same as he was last year?
I'll give you that.
But if Big Ben loses, we're just going to be like, he didn't really play great last week. He threw 3 interceptions against the Titans, but they still won. I don't know if we are going to have the same visceral reaction to a loss from Big Ben as a loss from Lamar. Therefore, as I look at it, you might be right when it comes to statistical metrics, but I think there's a layer in which you can't quantify. There's a layer in which you can't necessarily qualify, which is what's the perception going to be around the quarterbacks based on what happens on Sunday. Well, coming up, Uncle Jimmy joins us, and I hear he's calling one of us out for our wardrobe. Uncle, what you wearing?
You think?
That's next. Speak for yourself.
Good guy. Before we go, Uncle Jimmy is with us. So I hear you have an issue with something one of us is wearing. Acho's incomplete outfit. Take it away, Uncle Jimmy.
Look here, Mike. Wiley, you heard the phrase monkey see, monkey do?
Wait a minute. Yeah, kind of.
Okay, that means that just cause Acho wear a pink suit don't mean that you can too.
What? Why you
Look here, man. Acho has style. Acho got grace. Okay? He gives intelligent answers. You come out here every day looking like a broke-down ass Pink Panther. Okay? Let me tell you something. Acho, I respect the hell out of the fight that you did today, man.
I tried, huh?
You know what I'm saying? You came out here and fought a gentleman's fight. You told Marcellus, you told him up front, hey, man, I'm going to let you have the spotlight today. I'm going to let you, have it with that jacket. Okay? You called the ultimate play. You told your team, hey, man, let this dude score. We got to just let him score. Now, what do Wiley want to do? He want to showboat. Hey, man, you look good, Wiley. I'm giving it to you, all right?
Yeah?
You look like a tall, dark, and sexy bottle of Pepto-Bismol. That's what the hell you look like.
Y'all gonna be putting my head on everything now. I look a mess. I ain't gonna lie, I look great. Uncle Jimmy, chill out, big dog. Put your face up. We'll see something that doesn't look great. All right, have a great weekend. Fox Bet Live.